Namaskar ji. This is a first video for those who just starting the yoga practice from zero. It is very important for you to understand what you must have to start. Actually, it can be anything. You just can have a yoga mat and that's enough. But in case if you want to be deep into practice, I would advise some things. First, I would advise the blanket. Any type of blanket that you have at home, any cushion, whatever you have, take it. Because in some asanas, we actually need support for the knee, for example. In some asanas, we just need to be more comfortable. And this is very comfortable, believe me. What is most interesting here that we cannot even sit properly. That is why we will need even to change it for a different asana. So for example, like this. When you will doing like Matsyasana, for example, to do the twist, during the twist, your buttocks will go off the floor, but we need both sit bones on the floor. That is why the blanket will help you to differentiate and make the proper length and the proper for you to twist and to be with the sit bone on the floor. Then your tendons become more flexible, you will become more calm, and that is why you will stretch it, and then you will not need it. Of course, I usually don't like when we use this, but sometimes there is no other choice. The second thing that you might need is this. You know, each time when I actually use the belt, I love because I say that we're not supposed to use it, but it is a good idea. Especially when you just start practice, at some asanas, you just cannot get your hips even. And in that case, you can see how you can use it. Of course, I will be explaining during the practice. And in this situation, you will be able to have, with one belt, the proper distance between the hips, between the legs. That's very interesting. And that is why they are so long. And of course, we will be using them in a bunch of different asanas. Like, for example, to get one leg straight. And if you will not be able to reach your leg anywhere, you just put the belt, straighten your spine, and we'll be using like this. And with the time, you will not need it anymore. But to the begin with, to start being able to control. And of course, I will be explaining how to use during the practice, because sometimes we can use even the towel, basically, as well as the blanket. We can use it partially, like this. So you're not supposed to buy, if you don't want to buy the belt, or you can use any that you have in your closet. Basically for us, in future, it doesn't matter, but for the beginning, it is a good idea. Then yogi bricks. You may use any. You may actually, I don't advise, I love books, but you can use even books. In some asanas, especially in the beginning, I will be teaching how to sit. And most of us will have some pain during the sitting position, for example, like this. And in order to relax in this, we will have the bricks under our sit bones, like this. And when we will be practicing, I will be explaining why it is important, why the amount, even the bricks, sometimes matters. Especially if you are at some age, you will probably need even higher. In this position, you will feel how the hips will be opening. Even for those who practicing for some time, sitting on the bricks will help. But again, this is the practice, so we will be using it a lot. Of course, I advise not to use, but if you need, we will do it. Unfortunately, when we use them, we kind of used to it. That is why I'm strongly advised not to, of course. but still, this is a good idea. And again, when the practice will become more difficult, we will be starting to use them in different positions in order to feel our body. For example, when person is already having the lotus, wanting to feel how something is stretching inside, this is the best feeling, we will be using some breaks as well. That is why if you wish to grow in your practice, have them. And the most important, I would say, is the yogi mat. I'm not advertising any yogi mat right now. I'm advertising only what you're supposed to have for a good practice. Is a good yogi mat. You know, once buy a good one, then you will never be upset after it. I would advise two types. Actually, this Kimanjali, this is the Decathlon. I love it. Actually, for 1 year of usage outside, I was using it outside. And during the rain, I was doing 110 Surya Namaskara. It survived, only this sign, but you know, for 1 year of usage, this is a great one. This type of yogi mat will be best for the hot practices when we are sweating. So this is every hard practice that we have. All of them actually. Or I love mandukas. Of course I love manduka. Manduka depends on amount of latex inside. The more it's expensive, the better. They have a very interesting ideas about different kind of practices. So if you will go to manduka, you will definitely have one good one. This yogi mat that I'm sitting on, it's like $50, but this is almost 1 year of practice. I have nothing on it, despite I'm practicing each day. This one for hard practices, it is seen that it isn't hard practices, but it might still be different in you. I would advise, if you want to buy cheap one, it will be TPE, thermoplastic elastomer. It is a good thing as well. It will be the cheapest one. It might cost like $20. It is good one, but palms will be slippery. And again, for example, on this kind of yogi mat, your palms will not be slippery when you hot, when you have sweat, when you are warm. But on this one, I have cheaper manduka, this one. You will have. But if you will buy manduka like this, with this type of latex, with more amount of latex in it, believe me, you will be very appreciated this, because you may use it not only for yoga, you may use it for very different difficult stuff too. So that is important. This one for static practices and this one for hot practices. There is the cotton travel yogi mat. I wouldn't advise them because it's for practitioners who already practice. For newcomers, better when the palms not slippery, you know. And most of the cotton, they have this issue before you start to use it for normal practice. That is why choose your yogi mat. Do not try to buy the best first. There are very expensive ones. Do not buy the cheapest one. But the most important, there must be latex in it. The more percentage of latex, the less slippery it will be. Have a nice time. I'm waiting you on my yogi practices for the beginners from zero. Let's have our journey started. See you on the yogi mat.